Hey guys.
Hi.
So welcome back. So guys, you know how everyone was really excited for 2020? And we were all convinced that this was gonna be our year. And then that bitch showed up with a virus.
What did you call her? Kovisha? Kovisha?
She showed up. So, needless to say that all our plans got dashed to the winds and we all have to find our own way to cope. So we're going to talk about a few things that we have learned from 2020. So if you're interested, stick around, grab yourself a drink, and join us. Okay? So guys, one of the things that we've learned in 2020 is the importance of being alone.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is you had to learn, if you didn't already know, or you weren't already comfortable with being by yourself, being lonely, not having the distractions to fill your time so you don't have to deal with shit.
Exactly.
Like
spending time with your friends.
Yeah.
Going clubbing.
Working. Doing this activity, that activity, all these activities.
Exactly.
And so in 2020, you really was a time where you're forced to confront your loneliness.
Yeah, definitely.
Or your aloneness.
Yeah.
And some people dealt with that better than others.
Yeah.
You know, for some people it was like, well, yeah, I'm used to being alone and I like my own company. And for other people it's like, holy shit, I don't know what to do when I don't have something else to fill my time.
Exactly.
And for some people that became really overwhelming and led to like a lot of emotional and mental distress, right? And so one of the things that we learned is that you have to be comfortable with who you are as you are and develop a relationship with yourself so that you're able to give yourself the things that you need to be satisfied and be happy. You know, because more often than not, we're always seeking things in other people, right? We're always bringing things in our life to fill some type of void.
Yeah, definitely.
And sometimes we have to really confront what that thing is that we're trying to avoid.
Exactly.
And so this year, it's like you kind of had...
You don't have a choice because it's being imposed upon you to sit down and really think about certain things, think about how you interact with people, the going out, like all these restrictions. We can no longer engage in the activities that we
but
used
not
to.
even that so much, like even the choices that you make, the people you have in your life.
Yes, Nisha,
like,
you're right.
Is this the person that I really want to be with? Do I even like
this person? That's true.
You know?
It's so true. Because now you're forced, right? It's like to spend more time with people that you thought were like, oh my gosh, I love spending time with Oneishea, but now that I have to spend a lot more time with her, it's like,
do I really want to?
Do I really like Oneishea that much to want to be around her?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just using that as an example, guys.
It can never be true. But it's important. I think, not important, but I think that was one of the main things that like we had to really do. Is like, if you're not comfortable with loneliness, if you're not comfortable with being alone, and I find like being alone and being lonely is two different things, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But in 2020 you're kind of forced in that situation where you're feeling both these things at once. And so it's like, wow, it's a tall order. It's a big thing.
How do you adjust, Nisha?
To do. So that's one of the things. The next thing that we learned is that, you know, things are really temporary. Like,
oh my god, it's so true, Nisha.
And that's like for people as well. Like, you know, I've experienced a lot like personal tragedy this year, and I felt like I experienced so many tragedies after each other, whereas in normally it seems like things were spaced out. You know, I had more time to deal and to cope and just to process things, but it's like, no, this thing happened, no, this thing happened, no, this thing happened. Like, what?
You don't have that break, Nisha.
No, and I don't think I think a lot of people have experienced that, right? And we had to develop new ways to even process our grief.
Definitely.
Like, you know, like the way how we would normally deal with someone passing. It's different.
No, it really is.
And so what I've learned is just that when you have to kind of be in the moment. you know, you have to kind of appreciate the people you have in your life now, and enjoy what you're being offered now, because it is temporary. It's not, you're not going to be able to hold on to these things forever.
No, you're not.
Right?
Yeah, you're really
and
not.
so that was a huge lesson that I'm continuing to learn, because I'm the type of person who like plan for the future and blah 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 blah.
Here,
this time, 5 years from now,
Yeah.
like, and those years are not guaranteed.
Yeah. And I say here, I'm like, oh, 5 years I want to do this,
Yeah.
3 years I want to do that. But now I even too have to take a step back and be like, okay, what am I planning for 2-3 years? Nisha, 2-3 years I might not even be here.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying like don't plan, like, you know, don't prep for your future. But this time has taught me, all them times, Nisha, I'm sitting there like stressing out, like, I'm not gonna do this, I want to do this in 2 years. It's like, I'm learning now to really take that step back and realize I have to appreciate what I have now.
Exactly.
What I have now means more to me than what I potentially might have next year, because I could potentially not be here.
Yeah, and the people you're making those plans with, they might also not
be here. Exactly.
And that's one of the biggest lessons. I think it just really brings us closer to, like, we have to appreciate the now.
Yeah.
Like, who these people are to you, like whatever the thing in your life or the people in your life that you enjoy. Yeah. Like, appreciate that now.
Yeah, it's true.
And, you know, and see life move forward.
Yeah.
But to say that, well, we'll go on that vacation in 5 years, and it's like,
you don't even know if you have that 5 years is not promised to you, you know. So I think a lot of us and a lot of people, Nisha, they're realizing what, like, you and I are realizing is just take a step back and appreciate what we have. And we're also, Nisha, I know, like, for me and you, we've gone through so much to get to where we are, and we never really take the time, Nisha, to appreciate and appreciate ourselves, Nisha, and to big up ourselves for saying, you know what, Nisha, you're the shit. Look at what you've been through and you're still here.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I feel like this year too, it is time for us to look at ourselves and be like, yo, girl, you've been through it and you're still here and you're still surviving despite what's going on. Tap yourself on that damn shoulder.
Give yourself a pat.
You know, so props in yourself, validating your own self.
Exactly. Validate you.
Yes.
For what you've accomplished.
And not seeking it from anybody or anywhere else. You know what I mean? So that's what we also mean by just learning to be in the now and learning to be alone too, Nisha. Yeah. You know?
Another big thing too, and I think this is so important, is to be flexible.
Yes.
And be able to adapt.
Yes.
Like, there are different reasons why sometimes we want to have that control. You know, we want to feel like we want to hold on to this thing has to be a certain way because this is how we are most comfortable. But life does not work that way.
No, it doesn't.
And then something happens.
It really doesn't.
And then you're forced to confront that.
Yes.
And if you're not prepared, like, mentally or emotionally, that's a huge blow.
Yeah, it is.
You know, and that can disrupt every aspect of your life.
It is.
Like, your relationships, whatever they are, whether friendships, romantic, right? If you're not prepared to be flexible and to understand that, you know what, things change.
Yeah.
And I can't have things the way it has always been. But that doesn't mean that I still can't have access to things that are amazing and great. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And I think we just really have to recognize that there are great things around us now.
Yeah, definitely. We just have to change our mindset and how we think.
We're gonna have to. Things. Are you guys still gonna survive?
Yeah, like we have to. And this time, Nisha is showing us more and more and more and more that we cannot continue to have the same mentality that we had, like, what, 8 months ago or 9 months ago, 10 months,
it's like
11 months ago, you know.
And I mean, as I think as a people too, like human beings, the people who thrive are the people who are able to go with the flow and adapt.
Yeah, I agree.
Because they're gonna have less mental stress and less mental pressure, right? They're like, shit happen, bad things happen, but you know what? Let's move on. Let's move forward.
Let's move forward. Yeah, I agree with
But
you.
if you're gonna allow yourself to be stagnant and stuck in that negative mind frame, not to say negative things are not happening, but if you're gonna allow that to overwhelm you and become the only thing that you can see, you're not going to be able to move forward in
No.
the process and enjoy what is happening.
You're doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah,
And
so-
causing more mental health. Like, you know, stress.
And I mean, and that's a big thing for this year too, you know, and that's like, I think
time,
the
Nisha.
biggest lesson is that your mental health is so valuable.
And important. Like, and having people, honestly, Nisha, to talk to.
Yeah.
That you can laugh at. Like, I don't know if I told you, but like, for me, Nisha, you were a big help to me.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? A big help. As much as like, Nisha, like, any little thing, I was like, oh my God. And then like being able to talk to you, so like one thing you said, like being able to connect with your friends and checking in. And one thing though, Nisha, I have to say, like, guys, I just have to, when I was going through my mental breakdown and struggling and suffering through it all and creating unnecessary tension for myself on top of what I was going through, just having those friends, Nisha, that don't care if you don't answer, if you don't this, that just will be like, yo, just link me when you're ready. Yeah. Just link me and they'll, you know what I mean? And that helps big time. Yeah. So just appreciating the people that don't care. Yeah. You know, so for me, I have to say, like, I know it's not the right time, but I have to say thank you because you are a big support. Right. And I really appreciated that, Nisha.
And I had the same thing too with you. And because I've been very, like, guys, I've been very fortunate to have like a really great group of friends. You know, and like, no, I've been very blessed. And I have been struggling this year. It has not been easy for me. And my friends have been there for me. They've like held me close and just like allow me to be me. And so I feel very blessed that I've had these groups of women around me, you know, and my family member as well. Yeah. And so I think it's really important to be able to prioritize your mental health, but surround yourself with people who you know have your best interests at heart, you know love you and care for you. And
in all fairness to you though, Nisha, yes, despite the fact that you were going through a lot, Nisha, because I've seen it with my eyes, and you had the best mentality. I have no word of a lie, you really had the best mentality. And I think that by you also, guys, she's been going through a lot. Like, don't let Oneishea fool you. I like to classify her as the fluttery butterfly. You know what I mean, guys? And she's been fluttering around, even organizing things for us. You know what I'm trying to say? When she should have been like, you know what, y'all need to F off. I'm going through my shit, this and that. That wasn't even the case. Right. So I feel like when you were able to kind of like, Nisha, like, dealing with your stuff, but also prioritizing us, like, I have to say I appreciate, because I remember I saying it to you, I'm like, I don't know how you're walking around organizing things for us like a fluttering friggin' butterfly. You know me, Nisha, I would have just shut down and gone into my little cocoon.
I know, when I can't find her.
Yeah, like, oh my gosh.
I'm like, where's that bitch?
So, like, it makes you, like, 2020 for me has made me appreciate, like, the maturity that, like, you know, some of my friends have. Yeah. And while they're going through their stuff, they even care about me while I'm going through my mental. Yeah. And I can't cope with certain things like how Nisha can. Right. You know, my
different strengths.
Yeah, my thing is just to shut down until I'm ready. Right, yeah. You know? So I feel like 2020 has it's shown you a lot, like your strength, your friends, what you need to focus on, what you also need to really be looking at. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. So those are some of the things that we have learned, you guys. And of course, we welcome to hear from you. We want to hear what you've learned, you know, and how you have been staying focused and staying strong mentally and emotionally, and what your support systems are. So share with us.
Yes, and before we end, I want you guys to know that, like, being alone and feeling lonely, it's okay. Nisha and I have been through
it. Guys, it's life.
Like, honestly, we have been through it. I talk to Nisha about it all the time. Like, it's okay. You know what I mean? It's really okay. Take that step back. It gives you time to yourself, that perspective. And especially now, this is the time for you to take a step back. What's it called, Nisha? Reassess. You always know the words. Reassess your priorities, what it is that you want, and take the time to enjoy the moment. True. Your friends, your kids, whatever it is that, you know what I mean, connects you. Reconnect yourself.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Take care.
All right, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. See y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.